welcome to Get Your Play Online's Try It Out Tuesday, where we get to play with science. I'm Lindy, and today we're going to be doing a super fun experiment called Gummy Bear Science. And what you're going to need if you would like to follow along at home is a glass of water, a clear glass would be best, a spoon, and a baggie of gummy bears. For Gummy Bear Science, we're going to be experimenting with what happens when you put a gummy bear into a glass of water over time. So we're going to put a gummy bear into the glass of water and check on it after first 10 minutes and then an hour and then 3 hours, and we're going to see what happens. So the first thing that we're going to do is to take our gummy bears and we're going to pick the color that we want to use for our experiment. I think I've decided I want to use red, but I'm going to get not just one, but 2 red gummy bears. And the reason for this is that once we put our red gummy bear, or whatever color that you chose for your Gummy Bear Science, is that once we put it in the water, then we have when we take our gummy bear out of the water to compare it to see if anything's happened and how it might be different from being in the water. So let's get started with our experiment by taking one of our gummy bear friends and dropping it into our glass. And we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes and check back and see what is going to happen. So I'm so excited, and I want you to be thinking about what you think might happen while the gummy bear is in the water. Do you think it will stay the same, or do you think maybe it will change? And how do you think it might change if that's what you think? My timer just went off telling me that 10 minutes has passed since we put our gummy bear into the water. So it is time to check out and see if anything has happened. So we're going to use our spoon to take out the gummy bear, and we're going to compare it to the one that didn't go into the water. So I'll show you what the gummy bear looks like. And now let's see what the other gummy bear that didn't go into the water looks like. Can you see any differences between the gummy bears? I can definitely spot a few. So first of all, which gummy bear looks bigger? The one that's been in the water looks like it has grown in size compared to the one that didn't go into the water. Also, I think the one that's been in the water looks like it's a lot shinier. The color is much shinier than the one that didn't. And it is super slippery compared to the one that didn't go into the water. So wow, we've already seen some changes since the gummy has been in the water for 10 minutes. And I wonder, do you think that if we put the gummy back into the water, it will change more? Or do you think it will stay the same? We're going to set our timer for 1 hour and check it out then. The gummy bear has been in the water for 1 full hour, so it's time to check on it and see what's happened while it's in the water. I'm taking it out, and oh, what do you notice on the bottom of the spoon? It looks like a piece of the gummy bear has actually come off from being in the water for so long. I'm flipping it over so that you can see it better, but this is tough to do because it's so slippery and it almost feels like Jell-O instead of a gummy bear. Now let's take a better look compared to the gummy bear that didn't get into the water. What do you notice? Do you think it's changed since the last time we checked? I think the gummy bear has grown a little bit, and it looks like it's not quite as bright as it was the last time, especially compared to the other gummy bear. Now we're going to put it back in for 3 hours this time. How do you think it might change? Do you think it'll change a little bit or a lot? Time for our last Gummy Bear Science check-in. Our gummy bear has been in the water for 3 hours this time. That's 3 times as long as last time. So do you think that the gummy bear will have changed 3 times as much? Just from looking at the gummy bear in the glass, I can see that the color looks like it's much brighter in the middle than it is on the outside. The outside edges almost look clear. Let's take the gummy out and have a closer look. I'm noticing some more pieces of the gummy bear seem to have fallen in the glass of water. Let's look at the gummy bear closer up. I'm going to put it on a paper plate so that we can really compare it to the gummy bear that didn't go into the water. What are you noticing? It seems like the gummy bear is missing a few chunks and that it doesn't look to be quite the same shape anymore. It looks like it's gotten larger since last time, but not 3 times as much as from when it was only in the water for 1 hour. So that extra time didn't seem to make it grow all that much more. Gummy bear science was so much fun, but now we're wondering, why did the gummy bear get so much bigger once it was in the water? Well, that is a natural process that occurs all the time around us and even sometimes inside of us, called osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water through a cell when there are a lot of things taking up a small space and some of those things move to a less crowded space. So nature doesn't like it when all of the salt or maybe the sugar is in one area, so it moves it to the other area to equalize it, so it's kind of balanced. For our freshwater gummy bear, the water flowed from outside in, making the gummy really big. And gummy bears are actually made of a jello-y substance called gelatin, and there's no water in the gummy bear. So osmosis moves water from outside, from in the glass, into the gummy bear. And the gelatin is like a sponge soaking up the water. And a really great real-life example of osmosis is when we sit in the bathtub for a long time and our fingers get all wrinkly and pruny. And this is the skin of our fingers absorbing the water, and that's osmosis. Very, very cool. Gummy bear science was so much fun, but I've been wondering what would happen if we used a candy that didn't have gelatin and that is mostly made of sugar. Well, I decided that we should try it out. So I've got 2 Lifesaver mints here, and we are going to drop one into plain water and see what happens. So here I go. I've got my one so that we can compare, just like with the gummy bears. And here's the one that's going to go in the water. And we will check back in 5 minutes. And I am back to check on my Lifesaver candy to see what happened when it was in a glass of water. So it is different, remember, because it's made of sugar instead of gelatin like the gummy bear was. So I was curious what would happen. Would it get bigger just like the gummy bear, or would it do something different? So let's check it out and see what happened to our Lifesaver. Wow, check that out. So instead of getting bigger like our gummy bear, the Lifesaver actually got smaller. That's called dissolving. So it's dissolving in the water, which is a solvent. So the solvent water dissolved it by making it smaller. And I bet you notice a lot of candy that you eat does that. It kind of shrinks in your mouth. So very cool that different candies made of different things will become different sizes in the water. What a cool experiment this has been. I have really enjoyed doing this with you, and I hope that you have too, and I hope you join us next time on our Science Tuesdays, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends!